Welcome, brave soul, to a month of chills and ghostly thrills. You've tuned into the Medium Matters, where we're celebrating the haunting season with a spine-tingling series that will leave you breathless. As the leaves turn crimson and the nights grow longer, we invite you to join us for a haunting journey through the supernatural. Get ready to explore the dark corners of history, meet restless spirits, and discover the secrets that lurk within the walls of some of the most haunted places. So say your prayers, dim the lights, and settle in for our Halloween frights. Oh, and don't forget to check under your bed. You never know who or what is lurking.
Happiest day, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Medium Matters, the podcast where we're all mini mystics learning about the paranormal, the supernatural, and all the things together. And everyone is living their best spooky life. I'm your host, Chantel, and today we're delving into the twisted corridors and secret passageways of the Winchester Mystery House. So grab your EMF detectors and let's get ready for a journey into one of America's most perplexing paranormal hotspots, shall we? Before we step into the haunted halls of the Winchester Mystery House, let's rewind and explore the origins of the Winchester name. So in 1866, Oliver Winchester founded the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, which would go on to produce the gun that won the West. The Winchester rifle became synonymous with the American frontier, arming settlers, lawmen, and outlaws alike. But with this success came an unforeseen cost, one that would haunt the Winchester family for generations. Oliver's son and heir, William Wirt Winchester, married Sarah Pardee in 1862. Their union seemed blessed, and in 1866 they welcomed a daughter named Annie. But tragedy struck swiftly and mercilessly. Annie died just 6 weeks after birth, plunging Sarah into deep grief. The couple never had another child, and in 1881, William succumbed to tuberculosis. At just 44 years old, Sarah Winchester found herself a widow, childless, and the heir to a vast fortune built on what some would call blood money. Now, here's where a tale takes a turn for the supernatural. According to legend, the bereaved Sarah sought comfort in the arms of spiritualism, a popular movement of the time that claimed to communicate with the dead. Desperate for answers, Sarah allegedly consulted with a medium in Boston. The seance revealed a chilling message. The Winchester family was cursed by the spirits of all those killed by their rifles. The only way to appease these restless souls? Build a house and never stop building. The medium's instructions were clear. Go west and construct a home for yourself and the spirits. As long as construction never ceased, Sarah would be safe from their vengeance. With this supernatural mandate, Sarah packed her bags and headed to California, where she would embark on one of the most bizarre building projects in American history. In 1884, Sarah Winchester purchased an unfinished farmhouse in San Jose, California. What began as an 8-room cottage would evolve into a 7-story mansion sprawling over 24,000 square feet. For the next 38 years, construction on the Winchester house never stopped. Day and night, the sound of hammers and saws echoed all throughout the property. Sarah even employed a team of carpenters who worked in shifts, ensuring that building continued around the clock. But this wasn't your typical home renovation. Sarah's architectural plans were unconventional, to say the least. She would often hold seances in a special room, emerging with new blueprints that defied logic and reason. The result? A house that seemed designed to confuse and disorient. Staircases that ascend to ceilings, doors that open to 2-story drop-offs, and windows built into floors are just a few of the oddities you'll find in the Winchester Mystery House. The number 13 appears frequently. 13 coat hooks in a closet, 13 panes in a window, 13 steps in a staircase. Was this elaborate maze designed to confuse evil spirits? Or was it the product of a grief-stricken mind desperately trying to make sense of an unfair world? In 1906, disaster struck San Francisco and the Winchester house didn't escape unscathed. The great earthquake that devastated the Bay Area caused significant damage to Sarah's ongoing project. The top 3 floors of the 7-story tower collapsed, and Sarah herself was trapped in the Daisy Room for several hours. Located at the front of the mansion, the Daisy Room was Sarah's favorite bedroom for a period of time. This is where Sarah was sleeping when the earthquake struck and trapped her. For many, this would have been a sign to stop, but not for Sarah Winchester. She saw the earthquake as a message from the spirits, angry that she was nearing completion of the house. In response, she ordered the front 30 rooms of the mansion to be boarded up, ensuring that the house would never truly be finished. The earthquake marked a turning point in the house's construction, and from then on, Sarah focused more on repairing and maintaining the existing structure rather than expanding it. But the work never ceased, continuing right up until she died in 1922. After Sarah's passing, the Winchester Mystery House opened its doors to the public, and that's when the reports of paranormal activity began to roll in. Visitors and staff alike have reported strange occurrences throughout the sprawling mansion. Some claim to have seen the ghost of Sarah herself, still overseeing her never-ending project. Others report hearing phantom footsteps, feeling cold spots, and experiencing unexplained sensations of being watched. One of the most frequently reported apparitions is known as the Wheelbarrow Ghost, or Clyde. Employees and guests have described seeing a mustached man in white overalls pushing a wheelbarrow through the basement or attempting to repair the fireplace in the ballroom. He's the handyman who seems to be eternally working on the house. Visitors have even mistaken him for a costumed actor, only to be told that no such employee exists. But perhaps the most chilling encounters involve the gentle tugs on clothing that many experience during tours. Is this the touch of a playful spirit or something far more sinister? The Winchester Mystery House's reputation as a paranormal hotspot has attracted numerous ghost hunters and psychics over the years. In 1924, none other than Harry Houdini visited the house during his campaign to debunk spiritualism. Despite his skepticism, even Houdini was impressed by the house, calling it a house full of mysteries, a moniker that has stuck to this day. Zach Baggins, the lead investigator of Ghost Adventures, has conducted paranormal investigations at this house. Sylvia Brown, the well-known psychic, has also visited the Winchester Mystery House. Famed medium James Van Prague reportedly channeled Sarah Winchester during a seance dinner at the house. He claimed Sarah expressed happiness about the house having so many visitors. The Ghost Adventures crew conducted a full investigation of the house for their TV show. Most Haunted Live, the British paranormal investigative show, also did an investigation there. Ghost Lab from the Discovery Channel has also done an investigation at this house. But perhaps the most intriguing investigations are the ones that have been conducted by the house's own staff. So longtime employees have countless stories of unexplained phenomenon. Take Denny, for example, a maintenance worker who had a chilling experience in the water tower. So one day at work, Denny heard footsteps above him, and when he went to investigate, it seemed that these footsteps stayed one floor ahead of him no matter how fast or slow he climbed. When he finally reached the roof, he found absolutely nothing. Employees have also reported hearing footsteps shuffling to and from Sarah's room. A worker in the Hall of Fires felt a tap on his shoulder, and then what seems like a hand pressing against his back, despite being alone in the room. A tour guide reported hearing loud sighs in a hallway and seeing a small ghostly form gliding around a corner. The house's public relations coordinator captured a photo that appeared to show a human-shaped apparition looking out of a window. And staff have even reported various other phenomena, including banging doors, mysterious voices, windows shattering, cold spots, strange moving lights, and doorknobs turning by themselves. There's definitely no denying that the Winchester Mystery House is an absolute mystery full of things that go bump in the night. But even the ghosts have their favorite spots. Let's check out some of the places where paranormal encounters seem to be more frequently reported. First up, we have the ballroom, where employees and visitors have reported seeing Clyde, the ghostly figure described as the mustached man in white overalls. Next up, we have the basement, where Clyde also spends a lot of his time. Guests and employees alike have seen Clyde pushing a wheelbarrow in the basement. Then there's the witch's cap. This room is described as having a high amount of spiritual energy. Some staff members and guests have reportedly refused to enter this room due to its alleged paranormal activity. Next up, we have the seance room. So while not explicitly stated as having more encounters, this room was considered the heart of the mansion and where Sarah allegedly communicated with the spirits. Its significance in the house's lore suggests it could be a focal point for paranormal experiences. But overall, guests and employees alike have reported experiences all throughout the house. Are any rooms safe? I don't think so. Now, this story, ghosts and all, is fascinating to say the least. Every time I hear about the Winchester Mystery House, all I want to do is hear more. But I did do a bit more research on Sarah and the house and all the things, and it pains me to discount a good ghost story, but it sounds like this is just that, a story. So it turns out that Sarah started developing rheumatoid arthritis in the late 1880s, and her doctor suggested that a warmer and drier climate might actually help improve her health. And so she moved to California with 3 of her sisters. She ended up buying this ranch with the 2-story, 8-room farmhouse, and she began renovating and expanding it. Sarah and her husband actually loved architecture, and the buildings, the things that she was doing in this house were not uncommon, especially for that time. According to the people closest to her, they do say that Sarah took a lot of breaks from construction on a regular basis, sometimes for months at a time, which contradicts claims that the house was under construction around the clock. Of course, those who knew her say that Sarah was very level-headed. She was a professional woman. She knew what she was doing. She just had a flair for architecture, and nothing strange was going on in this house. It's said that Sarah did consult with a psychic when she was still in Connecticut and was told to move out west and build this house to appease the spirits. But after searching and searching and searching, no one was ever able to find this specific psychic in the directory in Connecticut. So did it happen? Did she see this psychic who told her to move? It's possible, but no one can find any record of it. As for the weirdness of the house, the stairs that lead nowhere, yada yada, we do have to keep in mind that there was the earthquake of 1906, and there was a lot of damage done to this house. Also, it's worth mentioning, this is not the only property that Sarah owned in the area. She had other homes, and she actually was spending a lot of time in another one of her properties. So when the earthquake happened and there was a lot of damage at this specific house, Sarah ceased construction. She did not put a lot of time and energy or money into this home. And so it would explain why things look the way that they look. So are there ghosts there? It's possible. I think that energy gets trapped in places. A lot of people have been through that home. And when Sarah passed away, the people who purchased the home saw an opportunity to open it up to the public and start these tours, and also just assign some spooky stories to really amp up the interest factor, if you will. So how much of it is true? How much of it is fiction? I don't know that we'll ever truly know. It makes for a fantastic story, that's for sure. Regardless, I wish Sarah the very best wherever she is. I hope she is incredibly happy and she is with her husband and her baby and her entire family. All the best to the Winchesters. If you enjoyed this episode, and I really hope that you did, please follow for more and share it with the ones you like and love, because sharing is caring. Send us your spooky stories and questions on Instagram, Facebook, or via email at hello@themediamatters.com. Head over to themediamatters.com/newsletter to join our free newsletter where we talk about upcoming moon cycles, rituals for the seasons, everyday magic, and so much more. Don't forget to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday where we are celebrating Halloween real proper like, because October is where it's at. Until next time, this is Chantel with The Media Matters, reminding you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and always stay curious about the mysteries that surround you. Good night and spooky dreams.